so we're recording now. Are we recording now? We are. So steps for graphing linear inequalities. So the first one is very similar to what we just did. Okay? Rewrite the inequality as an equation and graph. You can graph by finding the intercepts or by rewriting the equation y equals mx plus b form. This is called the boundary line. So that's probably a word that you should know, the boundary line on your sheet. Okay? Use a solid line for the symbol less than or equal to, and use a dotted line if it's less than. Okay? And so we're going to do step one together right now. So 3x plus y, probably this one lends itself to finding the x and y intercepts, just like you just did on that exploration. So the x and y intercepts, when x is 0, what is y in this case? 5, right? And when y is 0, oh, that's kind of ugly, isn't it? Okay. When y is 0, what's x? 5 over 3. That's kind of ugly. So we might want to put this one into y equals mx plus b form. What would this one be in y equals mx plus b form? Y equals negative 3x plus 5. Okay, I think that's better because then you could deal just with integers and stuff, right? So what's the y-intercept in this equation? 5. So I'm going to go up 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. Put a point there. And then I'm going to go down 3 and over 1. Go down 3 and over 1. And there's another. Did I go down 3 and over 1? 1, 2, yeah. All right, and then you connect those points using a straight line with arrows on both ends because lines go on forever, okay? So there's that line, and notice that it's a solid line because you should probably use a ruler. Anyone need a ruler? Because for all of these you're going to need rulers. I have lots of rulers. Once you graph the line, then you have to figure out which side of the line to shade on, okay? And that's where you use this idea of a test point. A test point, because some people say, well, if it's less than, I always shade below the line, and if it's greater than, I always shade above the line. That's true if it's in y equals mx plus b form, but it's not true if it's in this form or this form. So you have to be careful with that, okay? So test point to determine where to shade. We like to use the test point 0, 0, plug in x equals 0 and y equals 0 into the inequality and simplify. If it makes the inequality true, shade the region that contains 0, 0. If 0, 0 makes the inequality false, shade the region that does not contain 0, 0. If you cannot use the test point 0, 0 if it is on the line, so choose another easy point like 1, 1. Okay, so I'm going to pick this point 0, 0. Okay, there's the point 0, 0, and I'm going to see if that makes my inequality true. Okay, so I'm going to plug in 0 for x and 0 for y. Is 0 plus 0 is 3 times 0. 3 times 0 plus 0. Is that less than or equal to 5? Yes. Yes, that is. So in that case, I shade towards 0. So when they say shade, you could just kind of go like this. You could use your pencil and kind of shade over this way. Okay? So any point in this region will make that inequality true. Notice if I take a point that's not in the region, for instance, say I took the point, I don't know, what's it, 1, 2, 3, 1. And whoops, I don't want to use that. If I took the point 3, 1 and plugged it in, 3 times 3 is 9 plus 1. Is that less than or equal to 5? Is 10 less than or equal to 5? No. So this point, which is not in the region, is not a solution to the inequality. Now, the other thing that kind of came up on that sheet, put your electronics away. Okay, you don't need to be checking your text messages in class, right? The other thing that kind of came up on the little exploration we did. So these don't have to be points that fall exactly at the crosshairs. Like I could plug in the points negative 6.2, comma 1, right? And that would make the inequality true as well, right? So with you guys, you can't buy part of a CD or part of a book, you know? So in that case, there would have been an exact answer to your inequality, but in most cases, there's an infinite number of points that are on one side of the thing. So this one over here lends itself really well to finding the x and y intercepts, okay? So when x is 0, what's y? 3. Positive 3, right? When y is 0, what's x? Everyone see that? That would be what? Negative 4, right? So the easy way to graph an equation, just find this is the y-intercept, this is the x-intercept. I'm going to find the point 0, 3 on my graph. 0, I'm going to do it in blue. 0, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to find the point negative 4, 0. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put a point there. Is this going to be a solid line or a dotted line? This one's going to be a dotted line. And what that tells you is that points on the line are not part of this solution. Okay? Now I have to figure out which side to shade on. So, how do I figure out which side to shade on? Jacob? How do I figure out which side to shade on? You don't know. You should read the question. Test a point to determine where to shade. We would like to use the point 0, 0. So I'm going to plug in 0, 0, which is over here. Is 0 minus 0 bigger than negative 12? No, right? Because 0 plus 0 is 0. And that's bigger than negative 12. So because this does not make the equation true, or the inequality true, I'm going to shade away from that point. So I'm going to shade on the other side of the inequality. So I'm going to shade this way. Let's make it different color. Let's make it light blue. Ooh, that'll look nice. So I'm going to shade this way in this case. You get that? Yeah, I know. So I'm going to shade over here. And any point in this region should make this inequality true. You can test one to make sure it works. Yes? Got it. Now we're going to do some with just horizontal and vertical lines, which some of you aren't that good at yet, so we're going to look at it over here. Okay? What does the line x is greater than 1 look like? Some of you messed that up on your test. What does that look like, Amanda? It's a vertical line through what point? 1. Is it, in this case, is it dotted or solid? It's a dotted line that goes, make it bright red, okay? That goes through 1, okay? It's kind of hard for me to get exact, but that's what that one looks like, and it's a dotted line. Should I shade to the left or the right? This is more like common sense. I could take the point 0, 0. Where are all the points that are bigger than 1? To the right or the left? To the right, right? And so in that case, I'm going to shade, whoops, what happened? I'm going to shade on the right side. I want this thing, not that. What color do we want? Green? How about orange? Okay? I'm going to shade on the right side of that line. Okay? Y is less than or equal to 2. What does that look like? It's a horizontal line through what point? Negative. Oh, it's positive 2. I'm sorry. And is it solid or dotted? Solid line. Okay. So I'm going to put a solid line through. That's 2 up from there. Okay. So that one looks like that. Do you think I shade above or below the line? Below, right? Because it's less than. That one you don't even have to plug in a point. You just say, oh, it's. Oops, I keep using the wrong tool. I'm going to shade below because it's less than. Let's do it in yellow. Oh, can you see that? You can see that, right? Good enough? Is this easy? Yes. Okay. Can I move on to the next side? Okay. So moving on to the next side. We got 3 more things to work through. So this is called a system of inequalities. And what you do it the same way, except you shade both of them, and you see where they overlap. Okay? So I bet you guys could graph. So you graph the first one. Y is less than 1/2 x. Sorry. What's the y-intercept? Y equals 1/2 x. What's the y-intercept? What's b? 0. So it goes through 0, 0, right? What's the slope? 1/2, which means I go up 1 and over 2. Up 1 and over 2. Dotted line or solid line? Dotted line. Okay, so now I'm going to get my tool. I'm going to make a dotted line that goes through here. Okay? If it's in slope-intercept form, I do, if I could plug in 0, 0, but that point lies on the line, right? So I can't really use 0, 0. What do you think if it says less than 1/2 x? Do you think I shape below or above? Below, okay? If it's in this form, then you can't assume that's true, but in this case, I'm just going to shape below. I'm going to get my marker. I use a better color. Let's get my palette of colors. I like dark green. I like that. Is that dark green? That's gray. I like gray. Okay? And I'm going to shape down from there. Okay? Now I have to graph my other one. Okay? So this one, I'm going to set up a little table because this is really easy to do the x and y intercepts. When x is 0, what's y? 3. When y is 0, what's x? 3. Okay? So 3, 3, whoops, 0, 3, sorry, is over here. And 3, 0 is over here. And then I'm going to connect those dots. Do I make this one a solid line or a dotted line? It's got greater than or equal to. Solid line. Okay? So I'm going to make that one solid. Okay? And I'm going to try to make it as best as I can go through those 2 points like that. Now I have to figure out where to shade. Okay? Pretty easy. Again, if you're not in y equals mx plus b, you can't assume that greater is above. Okay? So I'm just going to plug in a point, which I'm going to plug in this point, 0, 0. So I'm going to take x plus y greater than or equal to 0. I'm going to plug in 0 in here and 0 in here and see if it makes my inequality. Whoops, greater than or equal to 3. I messed up. Is 0 plus 0 greater than or equal to 3? No. So where do I shade with this one? Above. I shade away from 0. So I'm going to shade above in that case. Okay? And my solution is where those 2 regions overlap. Okay? And so my solution in that case is going to be right in this area. I'll make it a different color. My solution is going to be in this orange area over here. Do you follow that? Okay, that's my solution because that's where my 2 inequalities overlap. And any point in this region will make both of these inequalities true. Yeah? Questions about that? Let's do one more, and then we'll do the pizza problem. Okay, so y is less than -2/3 x plus 1. This one you could graph in slope-intercept form. Let me grab a picture of it. Make it bigger. Yay! Okay, so y is less than or equal to -2/3 x plus 3. So if I'm graphing this one, what's the y-intercept? 1, right? So I'm going to come up 1. I'm going to go, what am I going to do from that point? Down 2 over 3. Down 2 over 3. right? Down 2 over 3. And solid line or dotted line? Solid line through those points. Okay? In this case, since it's less than and it's in y equals mx plus b form, which way do I shade? Chase, above or below the line? Oh, I was looking at Ian, I meant Chase. I meant Ian. Ian, where do I shade? Above or below the line? Less than or equal to negative 2/3. Below the line, okay? So I'm going to shade below the line in that case, okay? Then I'm going to graph the next inequality, and that one's nice because it's in ax plus by equals c form. When x is 0, what's y? X is 0, what's y with this equation? Negative 4. When y is 0, what's x? 2, right? This is good practice for graphing as well. So 0, negative 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. And 2, 0 is right here. Solid line or dotted line? Solid line or dotted line? Dotted line, okay? So then I'm going to make a dotted line through those points, kind of like that, okay? And then I have to figure out where to shade. And since it's not in y equals mx plus b form, I'm going to pick the point 0, 0, and I'm going to plug it in here. So negative 2 times 0 plus 0, I want to know, is that greater than negative 4? Is that greater than negative 4? No, it's not. Is it? Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah. Because this makes that 0 is greater than negative 4. True or false? True, right? So since 0, 0 makes the inequality true, I'm going to shade towards 0, 0. Okay? So I'm going to shade towards 0, 0 from this line. And my solution is where the orange and the green overlap. So my solution is in this area over here. So any point I pick in this area will make that inequality true. Both of those inequalities true. Get that? Now we're going to do the pizza problem, then we'll be done, and then you'll have like half an hour to work on your math Excel. Okay? So last one. Pizza shop. This is kind of a tricky one. So this is kind of like the thing that you did with CDs, except you have two inequalities. A pizza shop offers veggie toppings for $1 each and meat toppings for $2 each. You want to order at least 5 toppings, you only have $10 to spend. Write and graph a system of linear inequalities. Let x equal the number of vegetable toppings and y equal the number of meat toppings. So x plus y, you want to have at least 5 toppings. How could I write that as an inequality? At least 5 toppings. How could I write that with a greater than less than symbol?
Greater than.
Jake, A.
X plus y is greater than.
Very good. Greater than or equal to 5. That's one inequality. Do you understand that? Because these stand for toppings, and you want to have at least 5 toppings. Go ahead. Who can give me another inequality such that each veggie topping costs $1, each meat topping costs $2, and you only have $10 to spend? What would that look like? Go ahead, Mandy.
Wouldn't it be x plus 2y equals 10?
Perfect, okay? 1x, right? There's a 1 in front of there for $1, plus 2y is what, Mandy?
10.
Equal to, or can you spend more than $10? Can you spend $10? So what would it look like?
Less than.
Perfect. Less than or equal to 10. Okay? And now I'm going to draw a graph of those two inequalities. Okay? So this one makes, both of these are really easy to graph using the intercept method. When x is 0, what's y? 5. When y is 0, what's x? 5, right? So for this first one, graph the points 1. Oh, and we should probably put, well, we'll figure it out in a second. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you know what? Probably what we should have done a graph just in the first quadrant, because this is, oh, you have a graph that's just in the first quadrant? Yeah. Oh, this must be an older version of it. Okay. Let me, oh well, we'll just go with it. Okay. X plus y is greater than or equal to 5. How about if I count? Well, it's okay. And when I'll get 0, 5 up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to draw a line through those 2 points. Solid line, right? Solid line through those 2. Okay? And 0 plus 0. So if I plug in 0 in here, is it going to make this inequality true? Is 0 plus 0 greater than 5? No. So I'm going to shade above this one. Okay? Get that? For this one, I'm going to make another little table, x, y. When x is 0, what's y? 5. When y is 0, what's x? 10. Okay? So I have 2 points, 10, 0, which is way out here, probably on your graph if I extended it, right? 10, 0 would be somewhere out here, yes? And 0, 5 would be the same point over here. Again, I'm going to make it a solid line. Am I going too fast? Okay. I'm going to make it a solid line. I'm going to plug in the point 0, 0. Okay. 0 plus 0, is that less than 10? Yes. So I'm going to shade below that line. Okay. I'm going to shade below this one. And the overlap, okay, is this area in here. See the overlap in there? Let's make it a different color. Here's the region that these are the kind of pizzas I can order right in here. Okay? Right in here. Did I tell you I used to be in the pizza business? Yeah. I made a lot of dough. But the more dough I made, the more dough I need. Okay, more dough I made. All right. So anyway, could I order a pizza? Let's say I ordered this pizza right here. Let's just pick a point to check. Could I order a pizza if this is X and this is Y? Could I order a pizza with 1 veggie topping? 1 veggie and, oh no, that's 6 veggies. What's X? X is veggie toppings. So I want 6 veggie toppings and 1 meat. Could I do that? Is 6 plus 1 bigger than 5? Yes. Is 6 plus 2 times 1 less than 10? Yes. So I could pick a 6 veggie, 1 meat topping. You get it? Okay. Could I pick a 5 meat topping? 5 meat? Where's 5 meats? 5 meats? 5 meat right here. Could I pick that one? I could pick that one because that's oh no, that's 5 veggies. Sorry. Could I pick a 5 just meat topping, which would be up here? Could I pick that point? Yeah, I could, because that would cost me how much? $10, and I'd still have, could I pick 6 meat toppings? No, because I'd be up here, right? And so it wouldn't work. Okay? So that's it. That's not that bad, is it? Okay, so I'm going to end this cutting edge video. Hopefully I remember to pause it. Or is it paused? Oh, perfect. Okay. You guys, I got to show you something. Just look up here for a second. I messed up on this one. It was pointed out to me, if I plug in the point 0, 0, right? 0 minus 0 is greater than 0 minus 0 is greater than negative 12, right? So where should I have shaded in this case? I should have shaded in this one, I should have shaded down rather than up, okay? I messed up because if I plug in the point in this one, 0, 0, right? 0, 0 makes the inequality true. So I should have shaded down, not up. Okay, so that one's a boo-boo on my, yeah, it's kind of tricky. But that's why you should always plug in a point. Should look like that, not like that. Okay?